welcome back to another episode of the Spurs This Week podcast. I'm Tobey from _Spurs Center, and today I am joined by Max and Josh from the Hotspur News, Bodhi from Hotspur.industry, and Charles from CV Design, Z, not an S. How you guys doing?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, all right. Well, we're going to start today off by reviewing our 1-0 win over Fulham. Bodhi, we'll start with you, I guess. What were your initial thoughts off of that game?
I'm not gonna lie, I've kind of actually forgot about the game. I'll we won, but yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I actually don't remember anything.
All right, we'll move on to Charlie, I guess. Charlie, what'd you think of that? The 1-0 win over Fulham.
Well, initially I was disappointed, but 3 points is 3 points. It was a hard scrape to win. The second half was obviously not good enough, but
yeah.
At this point of the season, a win is a win is always satisfactory.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if we want top four, we need to win every game basically. So just keep getting those wins, and I'm happy.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, 3 points is 3 points, and although we have talked a lot about the style of Mourinho and maybe not being happy with it, sometimes against these teams you just need to kind of scrape out the draws. And I feel like we received a lot of criticism, not just like from our own fans, but from like news outlets and pundits, again, for winning a game, which is bizarre to me. But we can move on to Max. What do you think about the 1-0 win?
The Fulham game, I thought first like 10, 15 minutes, like we were slow, just like it was at Crystal Palace. I mean, I think first 15, we were not good enough. I think we were too slow on the ball, which is not what you want against teams like Fulham who are like in the relegation like zone. Yeah. But at the same time, like, as soon as we got the goal, I say since the goal up until the half-time point, we were very good because the thing is, like, what I love about us is the way we go 1-0 up and we push for the second goal straight afterwards. And Charles said that on our watch along on our channel, and that's and for me that's something that's really satisfying to see. But in the second half, like we just came out with no real intent of getting a second goal, and I don't know why. Because in the first half, I thought we were the better side, and obviously the VAR was very, very harsh in my opinion, and we got out of jail with that. But yeah, to be honest, as you said, 3 points is 3 points. But overall, I wasn't impressed with the performance at all.
Josh, any final thoughts on that Fulham game?
I thought we were solid in the first half. I mean, second half I thought we were appalling. But at the end of the day, like Charles said, 3 points is 3 points. And at this stage of the season, we have to scruff out for every point we can get.
Now can we start getting to some individual player performances, but I'll start with Dele Alli. I thought he was unfortunate to have that goal go in as an own goal and not get credited to him, but I didn't think he was overly impressive. I mean, I think he had a good cross into Son, who hit his header wide, but other than like that, and then the moment where he scored or it was an own goal, I thought he was pretty average. I didn't think he was anything particularly impressive.
He had his moments, but he wasn't anything special that game.
Yeah, I mean, I know we've been crying out for Dele to get back into the squad, but honestly, I thought Lucas Moura against Crystal Palace, I thought Lucas played better in the number 10.
I think Lucas is currently levels ahead. I think Lucas is one of the most underrated players in the Premier League. I mean, I always think he's pretty average, but the last few games, I mean,
he's found a new level.
Bit like the Mella in that sense. No, but his determination to win the ball and quality recently, I mean, it's undeniable. The way he always runs at the opposition, he never gives up, and defensively, he's also top quality. I mean, he created the first against Palace, and he's done so much recently. Just, if he keeps this up, I mean, he has to stay at the club.
Yeah, I mean, earlier we were talking,
and also let's just talk about that. Let's talk about the gesture he did at the camera.
That was hilarious. The L, we're referring to the L Lucas made towards the camera during the Crystal Palace game for Lucas. But I was going to say, I mean, earlier when we were in poor form, we were talking a lot about Lucas Moura Davinson Sanchez, maybe Eric Lamela getting sold over the summer, but they've found maybe Lamela has been about the same. But Lucas and Sanchez have really found new levels, and I thought Sanchez was really quite good against Fulham. He was, like we're saying, he was fortunate that the goal Fulham scored ended up not counting. But I thought other than that, he had a really solid performance. I mean, you can see why we signed him for 40 million. Maybe that was a little bit overboard, but I still think he's a very good player. We have to put him next to Alderweireld because that's the only time he really seems to play well. But Bodhi, what did you think about that?
About what? Sorry.
Just Davinson Sanchez's performances recently.
Look, I never really rate Sanchez much. I've never really rated him. I've thought he's good. He's good at blocking shots, but one-on-one situations and passing the ball, I always think he finds he makes it look difficult. But I mean, the Fulham game, I personally thought he wasn't good. But
no, he was our best defender. You can't say he was bad.
But all the defenders were bad.
I don't think we're all bad. I thought they did quite well.
We kept a clean sheet, so.
I
know, but it wasn't really deserved. They should have got that goal. Should have stood. Sorry.
Yeah, that's true.
But
yes, but what kind of no? But you could say that for any defender. I mean, the defender can't be perfect with. I mean, yeah, it wasn't a perfect defensive performance game, but I mean, you can't expect that much. I mean, it was a good goal by Maya. I mean,
Sanchez could have done better with the clearance. It was unfortunate.
Yeah, of course.
It happened to hit the guy right. The ball went right into him, but
the arm was down by his side.
Yeah, his arm was right across the side. So unfortunate both ways that Sanchez, his clearance just hit the Fulham player, and then also unfortunate for the Fulham side that it happened to hit him in the arm. I mean, there's nowhere else he really could have put it.
That, he was fine. He was sound.
Mm-hmm.
How can you blame him and say he was bad because he made one stupid clearance that didn't even matter in the game anyway?
It's just it's because in every single game he always half turns up, but he's always making some sort of a mistake in the game, whether it leads to a goal or not. The difference between someone like him and a top quality defender, which is what we sorely need, is a top quality defender doesn't make any mistakes. I mean, if you look at John Stones and Ruben Diaz playing together, do you see them making mistakes?
Not really. Well, they
because they have a world-class midfield in front of them that makes no mistakes, and they have two amazing fullbacks as well. I mean, you can't compare this kind of stuff. Well, I mean, Stones has had a good.
You can't say that
this season he was an average mistake defender.
That's true. I agree that before the season
Diaz
Stones was pretty average. But I guess that's a good point.
Well, this is the thing. Stones is next to the rock solid. No, but Stones is next to the rock solid Diaz.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Diaz is a great defender. Diaz is a great defender, and Davinson Sanchez is an okay defender who makes mistakes. If Sanchez took mistakes out of his game, he would be a good defender. He could even be a great defender with potential. But he makes mistakes, and until he makes mistakes,
it's like comparing Sanchez to Van Dijk. Diaz is on Van Dijk's level. What are you expecting from Sanchez?
Well, I mean, I feel like it's fair to say Sanchez needs to stop making mistakes. I mean, he gets caught out of position pretty frequently. His heading, I think, is pretty good. He normally in the box, he stays tight with his man and can clear it. But I feel like it's fair to say that Sanchez should be working on cutting mistakes out of his game. I mean, crosses on the floor, I feel like his clearances are pretty weak. They tend to go right to the opposition. And 1v1, I think he could improve. He's pretty good, but I still think there's improvements to be made. But you could say that for every player. I get that. I get what you're saying, Charlie. But I think it's fair to say that he has elements to his game that he could improve. But I also see Bodhi's side where it's he is a very good player if he just cuts those mistakes out of his game.
But then again, Phil Jones would be a very good player. He'd be a very good defender if he didn't make mistakes. Everyone at the end makes mistakes. I agree with Bodhi, but I'd say Sanchez behind Alderweireld is probably our best defender because he's better than Dyer. He's better than Tanganga. So right now, I would pick Alderweireld and Sanchez because they're the two best defenders at the club.
I think my first choice would be Alderweireld and Rodon. I do like Sanchez a lot. Don't get me wrong.
But you say about that, but Rodon makes mistakes. Like he does similar things to Sanchez.
I feel like he's made one mistake, really. I mean, he made the one mistake against, or he made two, I guess. He made the mistake against Chelsea where he tried to head it back to Lloris and then Giroud got onto it. Luckily, we didn't concede after that.
But in that game, he did make a couple of mistakes, though.
Yeah, I think he made two.
People say, "Oh, he was okay against Chelsea. He was rock solid," but really, like he gave the ball away a lot, and
he gave the ball away twice. I feel like saying a lot is a little harsh, especially on his Premier League debut.
At the same time, the reason why you could cut Rodon some slack is because this is his first season. I mean, this is Sanchez's fourth season at the club. That season, it's not a matter of don't get me wrong, Rodon does make mistakes, but it's Rodon's first season, and he's an inexperienced player who played for Swansea in the Championship, and Sanchez has played in the Premier League for 5 seasons, so it's about Rodon gaining that experience, and then and if you think about it, considering Rodon is at the same stage as Sanchez, in my opinion, I think as experience comes, I think he will end up being a more consistent player than Sanchez, in my opinion. There's no doubt. I'm not saying that Sanchez won't be a great defender. I think at least at the right club he can be, but I feel like there's more potential with Rodon because not only is he younger, I believe, obviously he needs more time to adjust to the Premier League speed and the physicality of it. And I think if he can adjust to it, then he will definitely have potential at the club to be a first team player. So
I agree with that. I mean, he did have a run in the team this season.
I totally agree with that. Yeah, I totally agree with that. And be that solid defender next to Sanchez. You never know. But also, I want to point out Reguilón was great today as well.
Yeah.
He's a proper defender. He's the player we've been missing for years. Like, yes, Rose was good on his day, and he was great the 16-17 season. But I'm sorry, Reguilón's miles ahead of Rose. Like even Rose prime. I just really rate Reguilón. He always goes for that slide tackle. He always, he's so quick. He can do anything you want from a defender. He can cross the ball.
I wouldn't say now. I don't think he's better than Prime Rose now, because Prime Rose was a different breed. But I do think
Rose 16-17 was like different gravy. He was the best left back in the league.
I'm not saying. I definitely think Reguilón has the potential to be one of the best left backs in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, just based off the performances, he's 22, is it, or 23? And he's playing the way he's playing. I mean, considering how quickly he's adjusted to Premier League speed, and not to mention, considering like of all the players that have first made to the Premier League, Reguilón has been our best signing. I mean, I think Bodhi has been our best signing, but he's been playing in the Premier League for years beforehand. Reguilón has just came in. He's managed to adjust to the Premier League amazingly. He got an injury, came back even stronger, and he's been probably, in my opinion, our best signing, just for sakes of adjustment to the Premier League. I mean, and no one can argue against it. He's one of the best left backs in the league already, top 3 at least. There's no doubt he has the potential to be of that quality of Prime Rose, but I don't think he's at it yet. I definitely think he has the potential to get there.
Yeah, I think I agree with that.
I know these people saying Luke Shaw's the best left back in the league because he's had 2 good months. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure this season has been the best left back in the league. Like he's been classed since the beginning.
Last 2 months. People aren't realising this. Man U fans have been hyping up for only 2 months. It's only been 2 months of his good form.
No, before then he was good this season.
No, he was
You're just
waffling.
He's been good for like the whole entire season. He's been the best left back in the league. Like, and then it's Reguilón and probably Tierney. But yeah.
But he wasn't that good in the first few months. I'm sorry. There's a reason why they brought Alex in, but.
I mean, I do feel like
good,
Shaw, Robertson, Reguilón are probably the top 3, I think, and then Tierney is maybe 4th. But I do think, just going off what Bodhi was saying, I think that Reguilón has a lot of potential, and I think he definitely has the potential to be better than what Rose was in Rose's prime, and I think he probably has the potential to be the best left back in the league, if not the world. I mean, he's going to have competition from Fulham and Mendy at Real Madrid, but should he stay at Spurs, I think he could be definitely the best left back in England. He has so much potential, and he has such quality and really good character, and he seems to really get along with the boys at the club right now. So, I mean, there's no reason he can't be really successful with us. Yeah, I mean, I don't see any reason why Reguilón shouldn't be considered as a top fullback. And I'm sorry, Roy Keane. But Reguilón is a top fullback.
Well, Roy Keane didn't really say he's not like a top fullback. He just said, "Well, Real Madrid let him go." Like he said, he was a good player after. So yeah,
that's the thing. Like I feel like Reguilón is a great player.
Yeah.
No, but I just think the fact, there's not many people like Reguilón. The fact that, I saw this post the other day. The fact that he had all these options. There was a lot of clubs interested in him, Man U, Chelsea, and then he read about the history of the club. He liked the personnel at the club. He liked the history of the club. He talked to Bale about the club, and he chose us over the likes of Man U and Chelsea. And that's real. Born to play for Spurs material there.
He was born to play for Spurs.
That's just no, but that's he's got Spurs in his blood, and that's why I think he'll stay at the club, because if he chose us over Man U and Chelsea, that means that he wants to be here and that he's enjoying being here. You can clearly enjoy that you can clearly see that he's enjoying his time at the club. So why would he go back to Real Madrid, where he'd be like second choice? I don't understand why.
And the other thing is, I actually just forgot until now, but Reguilón was, I think, he was a big Spurs fan before he even made his move. I think there was a few tweets from his past where he was saying things like, "Oh,
no, it's not true." Basically, he came out and said, I think they asked him when he signed. I think in his announcement video, just said he respects the club and he likes how Tottenham played.
Well, I mean, he said in one of his tweets, he said, "Mañana soy del Tottenham," which means tomorrow I am from Tottenham, and that was way before he signed for us. So I mean, I feel like that's something you don't say unless you are like a fan of a club. But
yeah,
I do see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But is there let's see if there's any other specific performances from that Fulham game before we move on to today's masterful performance. I don't think there's anything. Oh, I guess Bodhi will probably want to talk about this, so we can go over it. Alphonse Areola, Fulham's goalkeeper. Bodhi's a big fan of him, wants us to sign him in the summer. He had a few good saves. What would you guys think about signing Areola? We'll start with Max, and then we can finish out with Bodhi on this one.
Yeah, I think obviously Areola used to be at PSG, so obviously like he has experience. Once again against Liverpool in Fulham's win, I thought he was brilliant. Made a stupendous. Yeah. And as Bodhi said, was he 20? He's still entering prime years, and with Lloris aging big time, obviously like the thing is, obviously like I respect Lloris and I respect everything he's done for the club. But at the same time, like I'm watching Areola in games, and I'm like, wow, this guy's actually like, for example, in the second half against us, like that save he made from Kane in the second half, like that was like a Peter Schmeichel type save, like a save where he comes out and makes himself big, like a keeper who's not afraid. And I think like that type of keeper could be a keeper that could be like a keeper that could really help us like moving forward next year. Obviously, yeah, I think Areola could be a good option. Like obviously, like there's other options. Like people are saying Dean Henderson, but I don't think he'll leave United because he's only just got. And plus, he's getting now. Considering that De Gea, I heard he's not playing for the rest of the season now. I think. Obviously, I think Areola is a very good idea, and I think I'll be happy if we do sign him in the summer.
And also as well, I've seen us being linked with Nick Pope, and I think people haven't been talking about, but Nick Pope has been quite poor this season. Recently, especially, if you saw the Arsenal goal, I mean, even though they drew the game, it was a good result for Burnley. Like, it was still like he should have really saved it as his near post for Aubameyang's goal. And to be fair, when I've seen him, he's not really good with his feet, is he? He's like. And I think Lloris, I know this is not gonna people are gonna call me stupid, but I think he's as good as Lloris. So I think we should be looking at other goalkeepers.
Yeah, I think Lloris's biggest weakness in the past has been let me finish and I'll let Charlie go. But I think his biggest weakness in the past has been his
I think
on the ball
yeah.
play. And then I've heard that Nick Pope has a similar thing. So if we can improve on that, I think we should and look for a player that's a good keeper first and foremost, and then is also good on the ball. But yeah, what were you gonna say, Charlie?
I was going to say, I think we should go for Dean Henderson. I mean, I rate the guy. He's young. He's got time to improve, and he's a good player. And definitely, yeah, he's good with his feet. He can do it all really. So
Yeah,
I see no reason why not to go.
I'd like to sign him as well, but for me personally, I feel like Dean Henderson, yeah, he's a great keeper and all, but it's the sense of if we're a club that's looking to win trophies, now, and are we really planning on, signing a goalkeeper like Dean Henderson, which don't get me wrong is quality, but the fact that he's been outshined by De Gea, in United, and he hasn't been great for United when he's played as well. It's just a sense of, do you want to take that risk and start over completely fresh, when we can sign a quality goalkeeper now?
I do agree, but at the same time, you're saying that Areola is a trophy-winning goalkeeper. Why did he go from Real Madrid to Fulham then?
I'm saying he's.
I like Areola, don't get me wrong, but that point doesn't stand for him either.
I'm saying he's a quality, at least temporary solution, so we can get someone better. Like, there's no doubt. I think 2 seasons from now, 2 odd seasons, when Dean Henderson's a little older, he is probably one of the most ideal keepers we could sign. He's English, and he'll have experience in the Premier League. But I feel
he'll
like
probably be Man U's starting keeper by then.
Yeah, but at the same time, I feel like he needs more time to adjust to the game. I feel like someone like Areola would be ideal, for the fact that he's going for 12 million, and he's doing well for Fulham, and I just feel like
12 million is transfer value. That doesn't mean Fulham would let him go for 12 million.
No, he's at PSG, isn't he? So Fulham.
Yeah.
So like
it's the buy clause, right?
He signed for Fulham on a loan with an option to buy of 12 million.
Yeah. If Fulham stay up, he'll probably go back there.
Yeah, but I don't think Fulham will stay up, which is why I'm going so much towards wanting to sign him. And I'd be surprised if Jose didn't have him on a shortlist in the first place.
Jesus. No, I just need to say this. Tobey, your Lucas post is absolutely exploding. Jeez. All right, keep going.
I was going to say about Dean Henderson. Oh, here, Buddy, you go. I'll go after you.
I think he would at least be a good temporary solution, so we can sign someone who is younger, like Dean Henderson or something. But I feel like for now, we need to get Lloris out. I mean, he's aging. We need to cash in on him while he's worth something, and get a quality replacement that will be just as good as him, but yet a cheap price because of the financial situation. I feel like, for the time being, at least Areola is probably the perfect one, because I don't really want to be splashing 30 million on Dean Henderson when he still needs to improve and grow with experience.
But maybe what I've been thinking is, for Areola, maybe we could do a swap deal with PSG, because they've actually been interested in them, haven't they?
Yeah, and Lloris.
So that's an option we can give, and maybe offer them, as you said, his market value is about 12 million. Probably we could slash that off and give them 8 million plus Lloris, or like 8 to 5 million. So
that's what I've been pointing towards. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I wouldn't mind Dean Henderson or Pope for that matter, but I think Pope's probably the safest option.
Yeah.
But I think Areola, for me personally, I think Areola is the best option. Pope's probably the safest option, and Dean Henderson, he's the biggest gamble, but he has the most potential of all the keepers. So arguably you could go either way for the 3 of them, but for me personally, I feel like Areola is the one we should be signing in the summer.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue with Dean Henderson off the field is that he plays for Man United. So not only is his price tag going to be high because he's young, he's quality, he has first team experience in the Premier League, he plays for United, and they're not going to want to sell to a Premier League rival unless it's for big money. So I'd be surprised if they let him go for anything less than maybe 35, 40 million. So just because of that, I don't think it's the smartest buy, especially in this window where we're not going to have a ton of money. So yeah, I think for me, we've talked about this a lot, but Ilman Meslier from Leeds, I think maybe in the future, maybe not this summer, but the summer after, or in the January window even, he'd be a good one to go after. He has Premier League experience. He's young. I don't know. I think that's a good one, but
Is he?
we've talked about.
He's Argentine. He's Argentine, right? I think.
He's French.
Oh, French, right? Okay,
yeah. But I think we've covered a lot of the goalkeepers at this point. So,
yeah.
Is there any other topics from the Fulham game you guys want to go over?
Nope.
Or shall we move on to
Not really.
today's wonderful, beautiful 4-1 win over Crystal Palace? A Gareth Bale brace, a Harry Kane brace of assists, and a Harry Kane brace of goals. This is what heaven feels like, isn't it? I mean, it's just beautiful.
Well,
See,
I have two words to say. I have two words to say. Harris Kale. That's all I have to say.
What were you gonna say, Bodhi?
For me, it's honestly bittersweet. I mean, I'm delighted, obviously, with the win and all the rest, but it obviously there was a source. It was the Athletic. The Athletic tier 2 source said that a big name player is going to be sold in the summer, and I don't think it's Harry Kane personally, but I feel like the plan that Levy's established at the minute is he's hoping, which is going to plan if you ask me, he's hoping that Gareth Bale and Kane start a new bond, and he hopes to sell Son in the summer.
There's no way that Levy wants
He's
to
not
sell
going to
Son.
sell Son.
I get it because of the on-field it makes sense, but off the field, Son is such an attraction to the club because of how many South Korean fans it draws, and the amount of merchandise that they must buy from the club.
That's also why I think if we do sell Son, we will sign Kim and Jae to keep the South Korean fans coming.
He's not going to garner as much attention as Son. Like, I think Levy would be stupid to sell like our second best player. It's stupid.
He'll be the only South Korean player that's playing in the Premier League, so he won't get as much attention, but he'll still keep the majority of the South Korean fan base at the club in shirt sales.
But I don't think Levy's going to sell Son. I think the player he's talking about is probably Lloris.
Everyone goes to the right place.
I don't think Lloris would really count as a big name player. I mean, I guess he would.
Yeah, but we're gonna get money for him, I guess.
Well, I mean, Juventus has been considering offering 100 million. Do you genuinely think that Levy would decline 100 million for Heung-min Son?
No, he'd probably push for more. You know, in Levy, he's proper tight. He'll probably push for like at most. He'll probably push for like 150.
No doubt, Son's a good player, but that's a price I know.
Yeah, but look what he did with Bale. Like Bale, yes, Bale was like a 90 million player, but like I think Real Madrid offer like 50 million. Like Levy is a tight ass. He'll sell players.
Yeah, I mean, if the club's first bid came in at 100 million, Levy would definitely negotiate for more. But if he'll
go probably up to like 180 million, knowing Levy, because he knows how like good Son is.
If on the other hand they come in with 60 million, I don't know. I don't think we'll sell Son. I do see what you're saying, and I do see how signing Kim and Jae would help that. But I think the majority of South Korean fans would follow, or the majority of the South Korean fans that started supporting Spurs because of Son would follow him to whatever club he goes to next. So like maybe they would still sort of support Spurs as like their Premier League team, but they would follow, or I think they would follow Son.
Why are we talking about Son leaving?
Because the Athletic, Charlie, you have to pay attention, my mate.
Why are we talking about Son leaving? Why would we get rid of Son?
Because the Athletic said that we were going to be selling a big name player this summer, and I guess it could be Lloris. I think that one is probably the most likely.
I know, but Son's kind of fell off. I don't know if I could consider him a big name player.
Oh my god!
Stop
flagging off Son. Yes, you said the other day you want Maximin. What? Yes, he was an amazing.
I mean, so Maximin is a class player, isn't he? 4 goals in 2 years. Very clinical.
The only reason I pitched Saint Maximin in the first place is
what's
because
your problem with Son, mate? Son is a club legend. There's no replacing him.
Yeah, Son will be a club legend when he retires.
But you got to do your best. You got to try your best. Because I was looking at in a sense of if Son's going to get sold in the summer, which could be likely, knowing Levy, who would you bring in to replace?
What? No, Levy would never sell Son. We have
Are you
30.
the businessman? Do you genuinely think if the right price wasn't offered, you genuinely think Levy would reject it? He doesn't care. He doesn't care about
Well,
the club.
Levy knows like how much money Son's bringing. So, and he knows he's like a key player. Levy's not brain dead. Like he's not stupid enough to sell him. Like we say this with like Levy, oh, we don't like him, but Levy knows how to keep a player. Like he'll keep a player if he's really good. He'll try his hardest. It's like yeah. It's just he won't sell Son. It probably Son. I don't think Son would want to leave as well, but maybe a team like Juventus could sway him. Obviously,
that's if we win a trophy this year, I feel like Son wouldn't want to leave. I think I don't think anyone would want to leave the club. I mean, I think all the players that are here do really like the club, with the exception of maybe like Doherty. I mean, I know Doherty. I think he likes the club, but just given that he was an Arsenal fan, like he probably doesn't have the same attachment to it that a lot of the other players do.
I mean, when you're a player, it does kind of change though, because like if you're a top tier club, like
yeah, that's true. But
like if I was a football player and I asked them like the best team in Europe, like I would love to play for Arsenal, but it's like still it's a bit weird. But it's like
well, let's get back to the nice things in life. 4-1 win. Harry Kane and Heung-min Son have broken the record for most goal combinations in a single season. I mean, what a duo they are.
I mean, it was coming, wasn't it? It was like I think how far are they off Lampard and Drogba's record? They're very close to it now, aren't they?
I hope they speed back up because they start to slow down towards December and all, but I hope they speed back up and then they start playing again the way they were, with Southampton and all the rest, because they were on fire. They were the best duo in the world, and I'm not saying that they aren't anymore. I still think they are, but they fell off a bit, and I really hope with confidence they can bring that back up.
So on January 2nd, Harry Kane and Son Heung-min had 32 goal combinations, and Drogba and Lampard have 36 all time. So after today, I think that takes them up to 33. I'm not sure if they combined in the Premier League at all, but so from the so they probably have 33 or 34 at this point. So I mean that's at the end of the season they very well could have that record as well, which is I mean it's just really impressive the partnership that those two have formed. It's something really rare these days that you don't find in world football much. But getting back to the match.
But also, I thought that.
Should I say that again? I think Charles was lagging a little bit. But I mean, I thought Lucas Moura was really good today as well. I mean, he obviously created that first goal through his high press, and I think that's something we've missed. Just having a player that really presses. Oh, and Charles is back. What were you saying, Charlie?
Oh, I was saying, so isn't Henry's record for Premier League assists like 12 assists? So hasn't
21.
Kane...
21.
I thought it was
21.
Yeah, it's 21. It's not 12.
Oh.
Where do you get 12 from?
I don't know. I thought it was 12. Well, Kane's not getting that then. It looked like he would in the start of the season. He's probably not going to.
He might get, I reckon Kane, I don't know if Kane's going to win the Playmaker Award. I reckon he'll get maybe top 3, I think, minimum. But I reckon he's going to get like 3, maybe more assists this season.
But people can call me delusional. People can call me biased. But I honestly think that Kane is currently the best player in world football, or at least in Europe. I mean, yeah, in world football if it's in Europe. And he's currently on the same level as Ronaldo and Messi this season. He's not even close to Ronaldo and Messi.
I mean, the stats don't lie.
No, but this season, statistically, this season, he's been better than Ronaldo and slightly better than Messi as well.
Yeah, but you can't call him a better player, like on the same level than Messi, Ronaldo are aliens.
I'm not calling him a better player. I'm calling them form-wise and just play-wise this season. I mean, Ronaldo's playing for Juventus in an easy league, and he scored a lot.
Well, I wouldn't say Serie A's an easy league. Serie A's quite hard.
It's not an easy league, but it's not on the same level.
Like that explains why they're third, but okay.
Because Ronaldo carries them. But basically, Ronaldo's been good, but Kane still has like 5 more goal contributions in a harder league, and not just that. Lewandowski is obviously amazing, and he's probably better than Kane. But again, you can't compare it. Lewandowski plays in the best team in the world, assisted by amazing players every week, walking.
Yeah,
the
but
ball
that
into
still
the
doesn't
net
mean he's not a
in the
bad player.
Bundesliga.
Lewandowski literally scored a hat-trick yesterday, and he didn't even play well.
Yes, because he's got world-class players around him, and they.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean he's a bad player. Lewandowski is still.
Who said he's a bad player?
Kane.
I said he's probably better
no,
than Kane.
I'm saying he is better than Kane. He's not probably better. Like, what's your point here? You're trying to say what? He's better than Kane, but he's got world-class players around him that make him.
Why is he better than Kane though?
Because he's just a better player. He's proven it for year on year on year. I know Kane has,
but he's older than Kane.
He scored like 40. That doesn't make him a worse player if he's older.
I'm saying that Kane will be on his level at the same age or better. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe, we don't know though. But yeah. Lewandowski's just like, he's like a 50 goal a season striker. Kane's more of a 30, like 35.
Yeah, but Kane's not a striker anymore. He
still plays in the striker position, doesn't he?
Well, yes, but basically he's
more of a centre forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like a deep lying centre forward playmaker. I mean,
well, Max has just gone to sleep.
Yeah, but Kane definitely has like a different level to his game than Lewandowski does with his playmaking. But Lewandowski is definitely like just like out and out striker. Lewandowski is probably the better player. But moving on from that whole debate, Doherty still on the team today, and he grabbed another assist. Although it was like a simple pass back to Kane, but I think that's just going to help his confidence and help him grow. And hopefully he gets the start on Thursday against I forgot the name of the club. Dynamo
Zagreb.
Yeah. And then he can get some minutes, maybe get another assist.
Yeah.
And then Aurier can play on the weekend against Arsenal. But I mean, if we could rest Bale, Son, and Kane, I don't think we will. I think we'll probably play Son or Kane. But if we could rest that front three and then keep Dombele rested as well, I mean, we could have a really, really fresh, dangerous side to play against Arsenal on the weekend. And I mean, we're really going to need those 3 points against Arsenal as well. Because I mean, the table in the Premier League is pretty tight right now, especially because Chelsea and Everton, who are ahead of us by 1 and 2 points respectively, play each other tomorrow, and we have played the same amount of games as Chelsea and have played one more than Everton. So should Chelsea and Everton draw and we win our next game, then we would go into the top 5. And Everton would have a game in hand on us, so they would probably go into the top 4. But I mean, it's so close. I mean, we really could hit top 4 before the end of the season. It's going to be close, I think, for sure.
I mean, I think it's definitely possible, but I think we need to not get ahead of ourselves. We need to see more of this Tottenham team because we're still, and I know we've only conceded 1 goal in like the last 4 matches, but we still do concede quite a bit of goals. But it seems we are improving right now, and I think we'll get to a level. I don't know. To be honest, I think now we just need to get Champions League, either if it's through the Europa League or it's through the top 4. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Well, Champions League is for me priority, but at the same time, I think actually maybe the priority could be just winning a trophy, either Europa or Carabao Cup. No, but
if we want to play on the biggest level, we have to win the Champions League. Maybe I would like to win a cup under that, but I'm not think
to win the Champions League.
No, not to win the Champions League. To get top 4, I think is the priority this season. I know we haven't won a trophy in years, but still, I think the priority this season is to just win Champions League. It would be nice to get a trophy, obviously, but yeah.
Getting back to the Champions League, I think, is definitely key. That brings up like a tricky question. If we're in the I don't know what this would be. I think maybe the quarterfinals.
No, we're
it could be the quarters of the semifinals. Like the week before we play against Man City, in the final. Do you think we should rest the players, or just keep playing the strongest lineups in as many of the games as we can, and maybe go into the final against Man City a little tired?
Well, this might be a bit of a controversial. This might be a little bit of a controversial opinion, but I think Ndombele might have actually been rested for Dinamo Zagreb. I mean, also Arsenal, but I think we just want to finish the leg in the first. I think we just want to finish the tie in the first leg, so we don't need to worry about the second leg. You know what I mean? So we probably want to go there and win like 3-0, 4-0, get the job done, and then we can relax a bit.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Bodhi?
I think he'll definitely be resting Son for the Zagreb game. I actually think if Lo Celso's fit, he will play the Arsenal game over Ndombele. I don't know. I just have a funny feeling.
Wait, is Arsenal before Zagreb?
No, it's after.
It's Zagreb, Arsenal, Zagreb.
Because I feel like obviously even Zagreb's any team in the Europa League is still not an easy team, and you'll want to make sure that you, even if you're resting a few players, you want to make sure you have a few good players out the pitch, and just also not to mention the fact that Ndombele will be needing rested, which he did get for Crystal Palace. He'll also need him to be playing well against Zagreb, to help all the the second choice players. And I think if Lo Celso's back, I don't know why I feel like he'll be starting over Ndombele for Arsenal, because I think he suits. I think Lo Celso seems to turn up a lot more against Arsenal than Ndombele. I think
Has Ndombele even played against Arsenal yet?
I think Lo Celso just suits playing against Arsenal a lot more than Ndombele, which is why I think he'll play in Zagreb and not in Arsenal. So yeah, I mean, Ndombele's a key player, obviously, but I think Lo Celso will probably get the game for Arsenal if he's fit. And
Lo Celso definitely has like more fire.
And be put on the bench for Arsenal.
That makes sense. I can see that happening. Yeah, I mean, especially I feel for Lo Celso, because I mean he was starting to finally hit form in terms of goal contributions at the beginning of the season, and then he got injured at probably the worst possible time. But it's what comes with the game, I guess. I guess we should jump into the preview for the Zagreb game. I mean, I guess Bodhi kind of started us off on that, but is there any specific players that you guys want to see? Max, any players you want to see get some minutes against Zagreb, like Dele Alli or?
Yeah, I think obviously Lucas started today, so I mean quite lately Mourinho's been like rotating the team around, so I think he will start Dele Alli. I think I'm not sure if Bale will start because he played most of the game against Palace, whereas he got taken off 60 minutes against Fulham. In terms of the defence, I'll stick with Doherty against Zagreb because I want Aurier fresh for the Arsenal game. I play Eric Dyer against Zagreb. I'm not sure about the other defender because obviously Joe Rodon isn't available for the Europa League squad anyway. So I'll probably go Tobey, and at left back Ben Davis. I play Winks and Sissoko as like the defensive two. But then again, like as I said recently on our Instagram page, Zagreb are no walkover. Like they've been in the Champions League before. So I think we should play a couple key players. So I don't think we should play Son because Son's literally played every game, and especially and recently looks quite like tired on the pitch, if you know what I mean. Like he looks like he like rest. So I think for me, I'll play Dele and Lamela. I mean, obviously Vinicius, I'll play him as well because Vinicius has been very good in the Europa League this season. So yes, to definitely make some changes, but at the same time, play a few key players because Zagreb's like, as I said already, like the no walkover whatsoever.
Yeah, I think I agree with that as well.
I'd also like to point out Lamela and Vinicius once again impressive off the bench. I mean, Lamella is just a really good rotational player. It's the best you can possibly ask for. Like some of the stuff he did when he came on today was just phenomenal, and very underrated player. And also, Carlos Vinicius, his movement, his like the way he can get out of tricky situations and get out with the ball, a bit like Kane. Like I really rate Vinicius because he hasn't had much play time this season. Only, I mean, in the Europa, literally every game he's played, he's scored when he's played the full 90 minutes. You know, if he got more time, if he like, I honestly think I know 40 millions may be a bit too much, but if we could get it like a bit less, like 30 or 25, like I'd definitely buy him because I think he's a very good backup to have, and I think he's only 25. Like with Kane mentoring him, and you know, he could become a very good player for us. He's not done much wrong, really. He's been clinical when he's played, and yeah, he's just a really perfect backup striker.
Mm-hmm. What were you gonna say, Bodhi?
I think it's there's no doubt Vinicius is a great player, but I'm not sure if 40 million is the right price. I mean, I highly doubt it, but if it could be narrowed down to around 20 million, he'd be one of the best backup strikers you could ask for to come off of Kane, because Kane is an irreplaceable player, and I actually feel like Kane sort of spoiled expectations for a striker because he's the best in the world in his position, in my opinion, at least, and he's probably the best all-round player in the world. Like, you know, he can defend, his passing, well, you've seen it yourself, and all the rest of that. So yeah, Kane's an irreplaceable player, and for someone like Vinicius, 40 million, I think it's too much considering the players we could get for, 20, 30 million. But if it could be narrowed down to, like Charles said, a small fee, he could definitely be a player that we could look at for the future.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's just about everything. Is there anything else you guys want to add before we wrap it up?
No.
Alrighty. Well, that's been another episode of Spurs This Week. Thank you so much for listening. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube, as well as most other podcasting platforms. Follow us on Instagram. We're trying to build on that, so we'd really appreciate it if you could drop a follow there. And come on, you Spurs.